Hello everyone, I'm here in a brand new toy box with the Mad Hatter, and today I'm going to start building my Wonderland Mini Golf course. My goal today is to place all of the terrain, or at least as much as possible. We'll see how far we get. He makes a lot of noise. So far, all I've done is place the Tulgey Wood power disc on the Disney Infinity base, which gives me the Alice in Wonderland Sky Dome. And I've also dropped a boombox over here to turn off the music. And that's pretty much all I've done. And I placed a couple of terrain pieces here. We have the default one, and I placed a river piece just so I didn't have to scroll so much. For the terrain, I'm going to use two different terrain styles. I'm going to use the Through the Looking Glass style for most of the terrain. And you find that under here, right there at the very start of the terrain list. And I'm going to use the Rapunzel's Kingdom style for the surfaces that we play on. And I've already placed that power disc on my Disney Infinity base to unlock it. I'm going to go ahead and set this to be my theme. This gives us a nice dark green, and Rapunzel's Kingdom gives us a lighter green. Now, if you're on PC, you probably don't have this style. That was part of the final 3.0 update that included the Alice in Wonderland characters and the Finding Dory toys. So if you don't have that, you can use any of the other darker greens that you would like. World of the Wisps from the Brave 2.0 Forest Siege would work. Another good option would be Monsters University Campus, or perhaps the Enchanted Briar Ridge theme. And if you don't have the Rapunzel's Kingdom power disc, you can use any style that provides a lighter green texture. So the default, or perhaps Tink's Treasures, either of those would work fine. But I'm going to be using Through the Looking Glass because I have it, and it gives me a nice dark green texture. And I also like the sides. I think those look really good for this particular toy box. Alright, let's go ahead and delete the default piece of terrain here because we're not going to use that. That would be this size piece, and we're actually going to use the next size smaller. And we'll go ahead and just place a few of these here. I'll start with this one. Doesn't matter exactly where that is. It's kind of lining it up here where the old one had been. And for the orientation on this, by default you're facing this way. And I'd kind of like the game to start with the player facing that way. And so I'm going to rotate the base. And we'll slide this back for right now and just drop it right over here. And then we'll go ahead and drop a few more of these. So this is going to be near the entrance for the toy box. And we're going to put one here. I'm going to put another one over here like this. And one more out over this way. And for right now, I'll drop that there. And I'm going to move this piece over here. Oop, not that one. This one. Alright, so this is what we have so far. It's kind of a little L shape of 4 blocks. And again, the base is facing in that direction. Oh, and there's the Cheshire Cat. Cool. Alright, so this will be the start. And then over here, we'll go to the next size smaller. I'm going to drop a couple of these down right over here like that. Okay, so the player will begin about here. And so the first hole is going to go right here. And I want this to use the Rapunzel's Kingdom style. So if we go to the left, that would be here. This is going to be the style that I use for all of the putting surfaces. I also like the nice flowery sides there. I think that just looks really good. And then we come to the river. And we're going to have a little bridge here that goes across the river. And I'm going to line this up with the edge of that. We'll place one block there and use it for a spacer. And the bridge is going to be 2 blocks across. So we can take these out. And there's the bridge that will go across the river. And then we can come back up to this style block again. We want to make sure this lines up with that block there. And we're going to place 1, 2. Alright, so that will be for the first hole. And then let's go ahead and pick this piece up. And we'll go ahead and put the river in. And this is going to sit over here, and we're going to drop this down 2 levels. And let's go ahead and set the style on this back to the through the looking glass style, or dark green style. Alright, then we'll go ahead and add in this, and I'm going to flip this around just because the sides of it there are a little bit different. So there's one side's a little straighter than the other. And this piece, oops, is going to sit in here like that. And this again is the river that winds around a good portion of the toy box. Mainly just provides some nice scenery. Nothing too much to comment on at this point. Alright, and then we get to here, we'll go ahead and put in a couple of waterfalls. So we're going to use this style for that. We want to make sure it lines up at the height of the other block there. And same here. Alright, so there's our river. It begins over here with the waterfalls and just kind of winds its way around the course. And we end up over here. And I'm going to pick this piece back up. And we're going to put this one down over here and drop it down 1 level. So we're kind of creating a nice little stair step there. Alright, let's go ahead and frame in the toy box at this point. So we're going to put in 3 of these. And when we get to the 4th one, we'll drop it down 1 level. We're going to put in 4 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4. For the 5th one, we'll take it back up 1 level. And for the next 4, we're going to take it up 1 additional level. And this takes us to the opposite end of the toy box from our starting position. This piece will go here. The next piece will go up 1 level. This piece will go up 1 additional level. And then we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these at this level. So what's the first one? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so 11 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we're going to go 2 over this way, actually 3, and 1 over this way. All right. And then we'll come over here and we're going to drop this down 2 levels. And we'll just run this right across. And I miscounted somewhere. That should have lined up with this. Oh, yeah. I miscounted here. Sorry about that. All of these need to slide over too. I hate when that happens. So this ends up going over this way, and yeah, then this ends up lining up right with that where it needs to. So all of these need to slide over. Oops, not that. 2. I forgot there's another big block over here. So I apologize for that. I figured it would be easier to frame this in with the river and the outline around the toy box, and then add in the details for the different hills and holes, but kind of shot myself in the foot here for part of it. Fortunately, I don't have to move too many of these. Just until we get to the bridge. We can flip that one around. Go ahead and delete that one. Move this one over. And there we go. Delete that and move this up. There we go. And then we'll pick this piece up, put it down, and we'll bring this in over here. That's the piece I had forgotten. Okay, so that takes care of that. So now that kind of frames in the majority of the toy box, except for this little area over here. So once again, I'll pick this up, put it down. We're going to grab this little block here and put this across there like that. And I'm going to put 5 of these in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Followed by that one. Yep. And then this one will sit in here like that. And we'll put this down at the level of that ground there. All right. So there, that frames in the toy box. Okay, let's go ahead and start over here again on this hole. So this is hole 1. We start over there, we cross the bridge. So over here on this end, we're going to use this small block again. We're going to put this down at this level. Okay, so just like that, we're going to put 2 of these across. And I'm just double checking my notes. And over here, let me pull up my screen grabs here. Yeah, this is going to be at the same level. So 1, 2, 3, like that. All right. And then we're going to put this one in up at this level, and I'm going to change this once again back to the Rapunzel's Kingdom. So this is actually going to be the start of hole 3 over here. And the trick here, because we're building a golf course and the ball is going to roll, we want to try to use the terrain as much as possible to kind of frame in each hole and surround it with terrain to keep the ball from rolling and keep it on the course. I want to keep the ball in the playing field. There's going to be places where we can't do that, like these bridges, and when we do that, I'm going to use the picket fence pieces from the decorations drawer to create barriers in those kinds of places where I can't do that with the terrain. But for as many places as we can, we'll use the terrain to do that. And this also creates some height variations that makes the world a little bit more interesting here. So you don't want the world to be completely flat. That's boring. So this piece is going to sit right across the way here, like that. Yeah. Just double checking. And we'll place another one there. And there we go. All right. Now back over here, we need to create the terrain for hole number 1 with the actual hole. And to do that, we're going to fit in some smaller terrain pieces around here and just kind of block this in. So I'm going to use this tiny terrain block here to help with that. And so we're going to place one there. I'm going to place another over here. And we'll just use these smaller terrain blocks to create our hole. And then we'll place a small one down here at the bottom. That way if the player falls in, they don't go too far. So there's the hole where the ball will go for hole number 1. And while we're right here, let's go ahead and put in the base that we're going to use for the windmill next time. There we are. So at this point, we can go ahead and put in the back of this hole, and this will also be the start for hole number 2 right here. So that works out really well. And something is not lining up right here. Why isn't this lining up right? Oh, because this went out too far. Okay, this should have been this piece. All right, and then all of these slide over. That's why that wasn't lining up. And it might be faster just to put these pieces in fresh. Delete that one, move that one. There we go. Okay, so for hole number 2, we're going to place this piece in like that. We'll use this piece on that back corner like that. And we'll put that over there. And then we'll drop that piece in there like that. Alright, so that will be hole number 2. And then to finish framing in hole number 1, I'm going to place this piece of terrain, and I'm going to change the theme back again because this is not a playable surface. And the terrain's going to help the player know what surfaces they can play on. So that frames in that. And then on this side, we're going to do the same thing basically. So like that. And I'm actually going to use picket fence around these, so that's why I'm not raising this section up a little bit. So then our next piece of terrain will be here, and this needs to use, this needs to use our Rapunzel style again, because this is part of hole 3. There we go. We'll place this piece over here. Drop this one in there. And there's hole number 3. So you can kind of see how the terrain is starting to take shape. So the terrain for hole number 2 and 3 frame in this area. We're going to use picket fence for a lot of hole number 3. And then we'll get over here to the divider between hole number 3 and hole number 4. And for this, make sure where I am on my diagram here. Yeah. This will go up one more level here. And once again, we'll change this back to the dark green. And this frames in the back side of this hole, because this is a lot cheaper memory-wise than using all those decorations. Alright, so this will sit in there like that. And then this one's going to sit up here like this. And I need one little terrain block in here. I'm going to put some stairs in there later, and that's just going to help give us a place to go on that. Alright, hole number 4. And let's switch the style back again to Rapunzel. Alright. So there's that. And then for the next one, we're going to put in a slope here. And so we need to drop this down 2 levels. So 1, 2, like that. I'll put the slope in a moment. Just making sure where I am here. Okay. I've got a little map that I drew, but Boy, it sure isn't real obvious. Alright, then I'll drop one more here, but that's not the style that that's going to be. Before I change the style back, though, we want to go pick up this sloping hill. And this is going to sit right in here like that. So this is where I got the hole-in-one, which was fun. Alright, this one we're going to change back to here, and I'm just going to apply it. And then this block here, we're going to pick this up, and I got to make room for the hole. So we're going to put this here like that. Whoops, nope, sorry. Like that. I was looking at my diagram all wrong. Different orientation. And now you can actually play around with the hole placements here too a little bit. So if you'd rather have the hole a little further this way, you can just use different blocks to kind of move it in that direction. Alright, so there is hole number 4. And now let's go ahead and set the style, set my theme to Through the Looking Glass. And I'm going to pick this piece up and put it down. Drop this one right here. And then the next piece back, we're going to go up 3 levels. So 1, 2, 3. Like that. And now we're going to use this to frame in the back side of these holes here. How far over do I want to take that? One more. Okay. All right. And over on this side, we'll frame in the edge of this hole. So we put 3 of those in like that. And then we need this piece. This is going to sit in here like this. We're going to drop this down 1 level. And this one we're going to change to be our Rapunzel's theme. And then this going to slope down from there, so we need to drop this down 2 levels. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll go 1 more. And then we need to frame in the hole here. So this is going to go like that. Like that. And there's that hole. Except for the slope. And to make this easy so we don't have to scroll a lot, we'll come back over here and pick this up. Put it down. Slide that right up in there, like that. And you can see how the terrain, once again, creates a little area for the ball to roll. And that's what we're doing here, is keeping the ball in the playing area. All right, how are we doing on time? We're at 30 minutes. I think we can go ahead and finish this up. It's going to be another 10 minutes or so, but we'll do a little bit longer episode today just to get this done. Okay, so coming over here, we're going to grab this piece. Not quite. Here we go. And this is going to sit here, yeah, one level above the river. And we're going to put two of these back here. This is going to be where the hedge maze goes. Okay. And then when we get back here, this is going to sit up at that level. And that will be for that hole back there. This piece sits down here at this level. And this is going to sit back here like that. That one in there like that. All right, so there is that hole. For the next one, this is the one the Mad Hatter is on. This is going to sit up here like this, which you can see frames in the hedge maze hole. And the terrain blocks in the back there frame in this one. So that works out really well. And then we get to this point, and we have to frame in this hole. Okay, so there is that hole. Let's go ahead and pick that piece up and put it down. And we're going to come over here. We're going to take this up one level. Let's go ahead and set the theme back to Through the Looking Glass. Okay, so this is coming along really, really well. All right, for this one, we want to put this back once again to be Rapunzel's. We want to fill in the back of this hole. And then the back of this is actually going to be the start of the 9th hole. So that will go there like that. One over here. This is going to sit down 2 levels. And I'm off here somewhere. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, this actually... Trying to see here. Yeah, this actually should be playable surface. So I'm going to set that to be the theme. And the same with this one. Okay. And then that sits down in there like that, and we need a slope. So I'll pick that up and put it down. And we'll bring this over here. Stick this in there like that. Okay. And we'll use the picket fence to block that off later. Alright. This one we'll pick up and put down. And we're going to change that theme to be the dark green, but for right now, that will be fine. Just want to block that in. This needs to sit in here like this. And this will fill in hole number 9. Like that. Okay. This will sit at that level. Once again, let's come over here before I forget. And we'll apply that. And over here, we're going to put down another set of these. So this is going to sit down 2 levels, so 1, 2, and all the way back against that edge. That'll sit in there like that. 1, 2, because I'm going to be putting another slope there. And this one sits in here like that. Sorry for the delay, just grabbing my screenshot there to make sure I put all these in the right spot. So that one goes there. This piece there. Alright, so there's that. And then we need some slopes. So let's pick this piece up, put it down. Bring this over. Put in our slopes there. Excuse me. Still got a little junk in my throat as a residual from being sick. All right. And we're almost done. So I'm going to set the theme back to Through the Looking Glass. That piece already has it, but that just makes sure I don't set something that shouldn't be set that way. Okay. And then what I'm going to do here, this is going to come all the way out over here like that. We're going to put 2 across here like this, and 2 back here like that. And then a couple of little decoration wedges and we're done. So the small terrain corner, we're going to place this about 1 block off of that middle. So just like that. I'm going to kind of place that in the middle of those and bring this down and drop it right in the middle of this terrain block. And then this will sit in here like this to try to help funnel into that small world facade. And there we go. That's the terrain for our toy box. Well, I think that's a good stopping point for today. Next time, we'll add in the buildings and landmarks around the course. Thank you for watching my video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, or at least found my tips and tricks about placing the terrain helpful for you if you want to design your own mini golf course. Either way, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button and leave a comment to let me know. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking my photo in the lower right corner. You can also follow me on my blog, where I sometimes post about other games and topics that might interest you. That's all for me today. See you next time.